They always said her house smelled like lavender and something else, something wrong. No one dared question why her curtains never moved or why no one saw her daughter anymore. But every night around 3 a.m., a light flickered in the upstairs bedroom. And if you listened closely, you'd swear you heard someone whispering, "Sleep tight, baby. Mommy's wearing you tonight." There's this house at the end of Willow Creek Drive, the kind people cross the street to avoid after sundown. Not because it looks haunted, but because it looks stuck. Everything about it feels like it's waiting for something to return. The curtains, always drawn. The porch light never turns off. And that one upstairs window, the one on the right. It glows every single night. Same soft yellow light, like someone forgot to go to bed. The house belongs to Ms. Langley. She's in her late 50s, always dressed in pastels, hair pinned up like a photo from the 70s, smiles too wide, talks like she's rehearsing. She used to walk her daughter Hazel to school every morning. People said they looked more like sisters than mother and daughter. But after Hazel went off to college, no one ever saw her again. No send-off. No car packed with boxes, just gone. Ms. Langley told the neighbors Hazel got into a great school out west, but when someone asked which one, she just laughed and said, "Oh, it's private, very private." Weeks passed, then months, but the upstairs light never went out. Even on stormy nights, even during blackouts across the block, Hazel's room always had that glow. The kids on the street started whispering, daring each other to sneak a peek through the hedge. Most would chicken out before getting close. But there were a few who swore they saw someone up there. "She's sitting in the rocking chair," one said. "She's wearing Hazel's clothes. Long hair, same face. But something's off." One boy, Eli, claimed he saw her standing behind the curtain, swaying like she was humming. "She smiled at me," he said, pale as a sheet. But her skin didn't look right, like it was too tight on her face. Inside that house, Ms. Langley had a nightly routine. She'd heat up 2 cups of tea, walk up the stairs, crack the bedroom door just enough to whisper, "Sweet dreams, my love, Mommy's here." Then she'd slip inside and stay there till morning. Neighbors assumed she was grieving, maybe pretending Hazel was still home. But one night, the mailman, running late, passed by the house at 3:12 a.m. He glanced up. There were 2 shadows in the window, both standing, both perfectly still. He said one looked like Hazel, the other, also Hazel, like a copy, same height, same hair, same everything. He never delivered mail on that side of the street again. No one dared ask Ms. Langley what was going on, and she never offered answers. But every night without fail, the light came on. Soft, steady, familiar, like a beacon for someone, long gone, or someone who was never allowed to leave. It started with the smell. Not strong at first, just odd. A warm, fleshy scent, like someone left a blanket too close to a heater. Sweet, almost sticky. People walking by Ms. Langley's home would wrinkle their noses, glance toward the porch, then hurry their steps. But inside, that scent was everywhere. It clung to the wallpaper. It seeped from the vents. It hung in the corners of Hazel's room like invisible fog. Ms. Langley didn't seem to mind. In fact, she said it reminded her of when Hazel was little. Said the house had a way of keeping her memory warm. Every night she followed the same routine, cup of tea, up the stairs. That whisper, "Sweet dreams, my love, Mommy's here." Then silence, no TV, no music, just the faint creak of floorboards, and that smell, thickening. A neighbor, Mrs. Jensen, swore she heard something one night, said she was letting her dog out around 2 a.m. when she heard a wet sound, like cloth sliding against skin. Then a voice. But not Ms. Langley's, too hoarse, too strained. Something like, "Don't let it dry." Mrs. Jensen never walked past that house again. She even moved a few months later, didn't even sell the place, just left. Meanwhile, deliveries kept showing up at Ms. Langley's door. boxes marked thermal wrap, preservation sheets, and once cosmetic silicone, unprocessed. She smiled politely at the delivery guys, offered cookies, but no one ever saw what she did with the packages. Then came the heat wave, the worst in years. Power grids were strained. ACs failed all over the neighborhood, except at Ms. Langley's house. Her windows stayed shut, curtains drawn tight, and yet no fans, no hum of an air conditioner, just that constant glow from Hazel's room. And the smell. It got stronger, thicker, sickening, like something was cooking inside. One brave teen, Danny, decided to record the house on his phone. He waited till midnight, snuck close, filmed from the sidewalk. He caught something, just a few seconds, before he ran. The curtains moved, and behind them, a shape, human, but not, pale, glossy, almost waxy, and draped in something that looked like a face. Hazel's face. Danny dropped his phone, sprinted back home, locked every door. When he returned the next morning to retrieve the phone, it was gone. In its place on the sidewalk was a teacup, still warm, still full, and resting inside, a single eyelash, long, curled, unmistakably Hazel's. Days passed, then weeks. Ms. Langley stopped being seen at all. No groceries, no mail, no lights, except that faint orange glow from Hazel's window, flickering like a pulse that refused to stop. One night, a maintenance worker was sent to check on a power issue in the block. He approached her house with a flashlight, muttering about faulty lines. He knocked. No answer. Pushed the door, unlocked. Inside, the air was thick and damp. The floor, sticky. He called out, no response. Then he saw the stairs. At the top, Hazel's door, wide open. Inside, a bed neatly made, a pale silhouette beneath the covers. He stepped closer and heard it, breathing, but not alive breathing, like lungs that were being forced to move. A mouth trying to remember how to mimic sound, and then a whisper, low, slow, almost mechanical. She fits better every night. He dropped his light, ran, never filed the report, quit the next morning. The house remains, silent, watching, and sometimes late at night, if you walk past real slow, you can hear soft footsteps and a zipper. Not on clothing, on skin. Hazel was never found. But neighbors say Ms. Langley still whispers to her through the walls. Some truths aren't meant to be uncovered. Some mothers hold on too tight. If this story made your skin crawl, imagine what's coming next. Hit that like button to keep the horror alive, subscribe so you never miss another nightmare, and drop your theories in the comments, because maybe you figured out what's really inside that room, or maybe you've heard that zipper too.